Hi everybody. I just wanted to reflect a little bit as we get into 2025 that for the first time global average temperatures exceeded 1.5 degrees Celsius for the entire year last year in 2024. We're halfway through a really decisive decade now for climate action, and yet there's a lot more that needs to be done so that we can see the transformative change we need to make sure that last year is an anomaly, not becoming the norm. Decarbonising building is about more than just emissions, of course. If we design buildings that are adapted to their local climates and future climates, then we are creating buildings which are healthier spaces for people. They achieve adequate housing as a human right, and we can provide more jobs and a just transition through these sorts of transformations. Now, the building sector is a fairly dry term, but what we're really talking about is buildings, which are the places that we work, that we live, that we heal. They create the habitat that shapes our daily lives. And yet, in so doing, currently, we're contributing to around about 37% of global greenhouse gas emissions every year. So we need to push further and faster on building decarbonisation. This is the decisive decade. So we have to see buildings designed so that they're energy efficient. We have to construct them with low emissions materials. We have to run them on renewable electricity. And fundamentally, they have to be designed to be resource efficient, resilient, and sufficient for our long-term sustainability. To ensure that we do not have other years which are 1.5 degrees or more, we have to see all new construction from 2030 be built to mandatory net zero minimum performance requirements. And by 2050, every building, new and existing, must be emissions free. In the fastest urbanising regions of the world, most of the building that will be standing in 2050 are yet to be built. So, although it sounds very ambitious to talk about all buildings being zero emissions, we still have a chance to achieve this ambitious goal if we act now. And we work where we can avoid the most tonnes of emissions. And that's why at GBPN we focus on policy reform in the fastest urbanising regions of the planet. So as we work towards 2030, our programs focus on 5 critical climate policies that can get rapidly urbanising regions on a pathway to zero emissions. Stronger building energy codes, emissions rating and disclosure, material emissions labelling, indoor environmental quality standards, and financial policies can all be combined to drive this change. So, decarbonising buildings is necessary. We need to make sure that we are on a path to net zero emissions so that we do have our sector contributing to achieving the Paris Agreement goals and keeping global warming below 1.5 degrees. But it's also possible. So, with the right policies, we can make it happen. Let's do it.